Hello, welcome to this video from Sorare Assist. Today I'll be sharing my Sorare journey. I'll be sharing the first cards I bought, my strategy, my successes and regrets, and how much I have made so far on the platform. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But before we do that, welcome any new managers and returning managers to my channel Sorare Assist, where you'll find plenty of Sorare content to get stuck into. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already by tapping that subscribe button and bump that notification bell to be alerted about any new content. If you find this video useful, then please turn that like button blue and please try and watch all the way through to please those YouTube algorithms. If you haven't signed up to Sorare yet, then what are you waiting for? Get signed up using the link below to get a free limited card and 13 common cards. If you have any questions or thoughts about this video, then drop them in the comment section below. I'll try to respond to all messages. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get stuck into today's content. So my Sorare journey started on the 8th of August 2020 and I've been an active user ever since then, and started my YouTube channel that you're watching now a couple of months later, because at the time there wasn't many YouTube channels about when I was searching for information. So I thought this channel would be very useful to any new members joining Sorare. When I first joined, I didn't really have a defined strategy and was just researching a lot of players and looking at raw stats to select these players. So I managed to pick up a lot of players early on using this method, and my experience of researching players from other platforms I used, like Football Index, and of course the many fantasy football leagues I've played. With my experience of playing fantasy football for over 10 years and running a professional player selection service on Football Index, helped me pick out some quality players early on, and of course more so today, now I've been using the platform for over a year. In terms of investment, I've invested a total of £1,800 over a number of months into Sorare, and I've since withdrawn £900. I'll come back to these figures later when we see what my gallery is worth today, so make sure you watch this video to the end. So let's have a look then at some of the early purchases I made. So I'm on my gallery here. So some of the early purchases, as you can see, one was Diviv of CSKA Moscow. Picked him up for a nice £24 and 8p. I also bought Titan, who's Santos has served me very well. I spotted him early. I thought he was a fantastic player on Sorare, looking at his stats. So I snapped him up on a nice £44. And that's actually the number one card as well of 100. Same with Mkhitaryan and Kerzakov. I actually picked up two Mkhitaryan around this time. One was the 1920 season card, which I actually sold on. Almeida I bought because he was injured at the time, but I knew his stats looked good. He's only recently actually come back into the side, come back into the team and do well. Kerzakov's obviously done well for me. Fukumori was another fantastic buy for me early on. He's served me very well. One that I'm going to keep hold of for definite. Can't remember how much he was, but it was very cheap. Furuhashi was obviously a fantastic buy, £37. Stats wise, again, it's one that I thought looked absolutely brilliant in the Japan League. And he was, of course, doing pretty well 11 months ago as well in the J League. So it's one that I picked up for a nice £37, which, if you look at the market now, I think is listed for between £1,000 to £2,000. So that was absolutely a fantastic purchase. And of course, he's now playing at Celtic. Kim Tae-wan was a pretty decent buy as well, only £12. Of course, he's only 20, and he's getting some decent scores, and he's also playing for a top side, so I expect him to improve. Another fantastic buy was Insigne of for £112. He's done absolutely fantastic for me. Cabela was a decent price as well, 41. Dubious. So plenty of early buys that were absolutely fantastic there. So let's just have a look at some more of the earlier purchases. Pellegrini I actually won. Nani was quite an early purchase, £68. He's done fantastic for me. Meccano is another one that I like the looks of his stats. He's recently come back from injury as well, this guy, but he's recently played the last two games for Porto actually, and he's got a contract until 2023. Although he's 34 now, he does look like a player that's gonna get me some decent scores. Sobolov was another highlight as well. Clisson was a bargain when he starts playing again. Quite a few early players here that I bought that were absolutely brilliant. One regret was probably buying this guy. £837 I paid for Atate, which was a little bit over the odds, I think. But he is still young, his stats are looking good, and now some of the players have actually left Kawasaki. I'm hoping that he'll get a bit more game time and start playing a bit further forward as well, because he was playing in the left back position. As you can see here, I bought Bergwijn for £1,085. He was actually my most expensive purchase on the platform. I don't think I'm going to be spending any more than that again. So I had mixed SO5 results to start with and realised that I had too many options. And I found that a lot of players were scoring high, but were usually left in training because I had too many players to pick from. Due to this, I decided to go for quality over quantity and selected a team of 5 for each region that I wanted to keep. I was only focusing on Division 4 at this stage. I ended up selling a lot of my players, all for profit, during the big wave of new users we saw in April 2021, and this enabled me to improve some of my player cards, or buy players that I needed, which were mostly American players and goalkeepers, of course. Most of this money which I bought Bergwijn with was actually from profits from player sales, so I sold plenty of players as well. So I bought these players early on, and I had Payet, which I sold on for quite good money. Iniesta, I sold him for around £500 or £600, I believe, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. And a few other players as well that I managed to sell on for fantastic profits. I started to see some real improvements in my SO5 scores around this time due to the concentrating on quality over quantity. So I've not really got a gallery set up where I can put a team into most of the divisions now in Division 4, which is absolutely brilliant. And I do sometimes put a lineup in Division 3, but it's usually backup options just in case they have a good week. So let's move on to my SO5 stats and the rewards I've won so far then. So here I am on Sorare data. So the total ETH earnings I've got, so that's the threshold prizes, is not 93 ETH. So that's nearly a full ETH in prizes, which is absolutely fantastic. I've won a total of 32 rewards. Total rewards current valuation is 2.8 ETH, which is absolutely brilliant. I've kept 7 of the awards, and the total value of the kept awards is 1.27. So I have managed to make quite a bit of profit on selling some of those cards that I won and didn't need at the time. So I've won some fantastic cards along the way. As you can see here, some of the cards that I've won. Fair here, Pablo Diaz, fantastic. This guy I got, Jesus Ferreira, recently. Finished 41st, but he was just actually coming to the team when I won him, and he absolutely looks fantastic, to be fair. The stats look brilliant. He's one that I'll be definitely keeping. Enner Valencia I've recently won as well for finishing 137th, which I thought was a good prize. Bond I won, which was very, very good, because my other keeper that I had, Diop, he obviously terminated his contract at the club, but luckily I had Bond to replace him, which was good because I spent around £600 on Diop and then he terminated his contract. Those things happen though. The gods shied down on me, and Bond was a prize a few weeks before Diop terminated his contract, so that ended up well. I also got Dumfries as well, but I ended up selling him for a decent profit. Taniguchi was another good win, but again it's another one that I sold. This guy I sold, but I sort of regret that now. Mingyu, regret selling him because I've actually only got one forward player at the moment, and that is Hatate. But I do regret selling him because he's had a fantastic season. Firmino I won as well. I've sold him though as well for a good profit, I think around £600. Djouba I've won. I previously had a Djouba card as well, which I sold, but this one I'm going to keep hold of for now, I think. But yeah, I've had some good rewards. Pellegrini was a fantastic reward early on. But yeah, these recent rewards that I've been getting have been quite consistent really. I'm getting a reward most game weeks now, as you can see here. So my gallery of players is doing very, very well. Now with all that being said, let's see how much I have made on Sorare. So as I advised, I invested £1,800 originally and have since withdrawn £900 of that. And I aim to eventually take the other £900 out so that I'm playing risk free. So officially I have £900 invested in the platform as of today, from my original investment of £1,800. So let's have a look at what my gallery is worth at the time of recording. So I'm just going to scroll up here and reveal my current valuation from my £900 that's currently invested. So as you can see, I'm obviously really pleased with this. I didn't expect to make this much money on a fantasy football platform. This is after just over a year I've managed to make this profit, which is absolutely staggering. I'm sure you'll agree that this is ridiculous amount of profit that I've made on Sorare. So my current strategy is to build a limited team for each region of the best in terms of SO5 scores, which will be funded by my rewards and sales of some of my existing cards. You can actually follow my journey on the limited strategy on this YouTube channel, where I'm doing a weekly series of my purchases, sales, successes, failures, and also my squad building as well of my limited card gallery. The future is very bright for Sorare, and I'm looking forward to many years using the platform and of course creating content on this channel for you guys. Anyway, that's my journey to date, and I hope you found this useful. I'm delighted with on the platform, which I've been on now for over a year. My advice to any new managers is to have a key strategy and focus on creating a solid team of 5 to start entering tournaments as soon as possible, but focus on quality over quantity. I would also advise to have patience and don't make any rash decisions in terms of player sales. So now over to you. What do you think of my Sorare journey so far, and how are you getting on? Let me know below. If you have any thoughts on today's video, then drop them in the comments. As I said, you can follow my limited journey and strategy right here via a weekly series tracking my progress in the limited card squad builder series. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ping that notification bell to be the first to be informed about any new videos. You can also follow us now on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. And you can also contact me on there as well if you do want any questions. Also, check out our free website, sorareassist.com, where there's free Sorare resources. Links are in the description below. There's also a link in the description if you're not signed up to Sorare yet to get those all important free cards. I'll see you on the next video.